This episode was sponsored by Property, the leading real estate agent for all real estate transactions with a comprehensive ecosystem. They combine highly trained experts with the latest technologies on an intelligent platform to provide clients, brokers, and service partners with risk-free, flexible, and simplified services. Learn more at property.com. That's property with an I.com.
We remove the outdated components within the luminary and integrate our smart lighting units. And the big win is that we don't replace the entire luminary. We upgrade what's there, and then it's faster, cheaper, and more sustainable.
Welcome to the Swisspreneur Show, a podcast about startup stories and learnings from experienced entrepreneurs. If you enjoy listening to our show, make sure to follow the podcast and leave a rating. And now, here's your host, Silvan.
Bess, a very well welcome to the Swisspreneur Show. It's a pleasure to have you as a team member, to have you in the seat here as a guest.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm very excited to sit now in this chair here.
That's amazing. You're the co-founder and member of the board at Lumvin, a startup that is developing sustainable but also intelligent and networked lighting systems. Before we talk about what you're building and where you stand with your company, I want to go back a bit in time. You actually started out as a professional handball player. There are many now in business and in important positions that started out as a professional handball player. And I wonder, how did your sports career sort of prepare you for the business world eventually?
I think there are a lot of things you can learn from sport. I played handball, and handball taught me a lot of things. Taught me structure, pressure management, which is also very important in business, how to show up even when you don't feel like it. Yeah, you learn early that performance isn't about motivation. It's about discipline, a lot about the mindset or the right mindset.
Yep.
And that helped me for sure. And the handball community is a very cool and nice community because in handball, usually you don't get paid well. You have to also pursue your professional career. And everybody had to do apprentice or go to study. And now with age, there are some corporates working for big corporates or have their own companies.
I can tell because every time you meet someone or you try to open a door, there's usually somewhat of a handball connection. It's really interesting to see that.
Yeah, there are a lot. Yeah, actually, also here at Swisspreneur, you have Bibi, Björn.
Exactly.
Who played always in St. Gallen. We played always against each other. And now we are friends. So it's cool. It's cool.
Would you say that professional athletes make better business people?
Mm-hmm. I would not say that directly, but there are some qualities which you achieve in sports, which you also can use in business.
Yeah.
And obviously, when you talk with people who had an active sports career, then you ask them, let's say the HR, for sure, they ask them, I guess you can work in a team, but mostly there are other qualities which are very surprisingly benefiting in business, like fast decision making or communication as well, leadership. And you can see that as well. And that helps for sure.
And besides your professional handball career, you then worked in finance, in sales, so sort of more the traditional industries. Was it ever a goal for you to build your own company or to have your own startup during your career?
Actually, yes, but I failed many times. And it was actually, I have a skill set which is valuable for companies or also for a startup. But when we talk about the skill set you need to run startup, usually you have different hats on, and I'm not strong in operations. I had to find out later. Or finance is also a weakness. And it took me quite a while to see that, or to find the right opportunity with the right people. And that's what happened also with Lumvin, and what gave us, or with my partner now, the right setting to benefit from each other and make it a success. Yes.
Yeah, in the end, we often hear that here on the podcast. They always say a great founding team is shared values. So you need to have an alignment there on how you want to work together, but then complementary skill sets. So I'm very much with you. I'm terrible at finance. That's why we're lucky to have Björn,
Yes.
in many roles. So you really need to understand what you're good at. You mentioned you failed many times. What were some failures, if you're open to share, that sort of paved the way to now your entrepreneurial success?
Yes, I can tell you a lot of different examples. One which started actually as a success was called Dein Robert. There was an app where you can book your cleaning services back in 2015. These days you hear about BedMate, and BedMate that day or back in the days was more like a Uber platform where you can book your cleaning lady or cleaning man. And my approach was a little bit different. You can book on default. You had some services integrated in a flat rate fee, and you had the possibility to book also add-ons like laundry or let's say window cleaning.
Yeah.
And when I started, I didn't create the app.
Yeah.
I outsourced it. And then what my strength is, I started selling the services, and in 3 months we gained from 0 to 40,000 a month revenues, and it was really fast. But then the operation hit, or also HR topics, finding the right people, and usually in this field, you work with people in the lower salary segment, and this is very difficult.
Yeah.
Because first of all, to find them it's actually easy. But then to onboard them, it's a hustle. You have barriers like language, for example, and then discipline. For me, when I say it's 7 o'clock and we meet at 7, for them it's maybe 8. And on the other hand, what I also can understand is in this low salary segment, if somebody else comes and pays you 1 franc more per hour, they change. They change.
Yeah.
And that was really hard to run all these different people.
It's also a lot of work, a lot of effort, and usually more on the lower side of the margin, right? So you have a lot of effort for not that much profit, probably. And what you're looking for is usually the opposite, right? High profits and less work, if possible.
Yeah, sure. But that actually, my idea was with Dein Robert was actually to have the keys of the people of their homes.
Yeah.
And then you can also adapt, let's say, Coop at Home or IKEA, and people can come whenever the window is open. That was actually my first idea. Or you can also do a lot of product placements. We tried it out and it worked really well with a cupcake store next to our office, where we used to put cupcakes on our customers on the table, so that they had to take it in their hands, and try it. And it works out really well, but I had the different challenges with tech, with the app, because I couldn't do anything by myself. And it grew fast, but it also crashed very fast.
Well, I guess that's part of the entrepreneurial journey to a certain degree.
Yes, and I remember 2015, it also started really not that well. I had prepared everything really properly, and then I met Adi Locher and Dario Faslic. 2015, I can't forget that. So I met them, I told them about my idea and my company called Dein Robert. And I can still see Dario's face, like, oh shit, nah, why? Never name your company with Dein Robert or with the German words, because then he told me with Dein Deal that there's also these difficulties. They couldn't use it in the French part, in Italian part. Yeah. And I thought, oh man, thank you very much for this input, but everything is set up yet. And I can't change it anymore. But he was right, very smart guy. He was right, didn't work out well.
Yeah, you just limit the scalability, right?
Yes.
Already from the beginning.
But it's a learning, name is key.
That's true. So then in 2021, you actually joined LIPS. It's an organization that focuses on industrial vocational training here in Switzerland. And that is quite a shift, right? From finance, from sales, to go to LIPS, which does something completely different. What sort of motivated you to change industry, so to speak?
Actually, it was a calculated move. After my handball career, I worked in finance, and I did this career like everybody else, starting as assistant and account manager, relation manager. And at Bank Vontobel, I moved also to project management. We built Volt. I was part of the team. This is the digital robot advisor. And first of all, I stepped into this finance field or banking very late or too late. And then in the last 15 years when I worked there, I saw that consolidation happened. The small players were bought from bigger players, or also small banks like NAB by Credit Suisse. And you see that Credit Suisse doesn't exist anymore. So there's a consolidation. And for me, nobody waited for me there. Mm-hmm. So I thought I was 35. I thought I have to move now because it's happening faster. And I saw it at real time. We built a robot advisor, and I knew that at the front, people don't need a relationship manager anymore in the future. Mm-hmm. So if I don't move now, I have to move maybe in 5 or 10 years, and it's getting difficult.
But you would have been out of control. You would have been moved probably.
Yes, that's for sure. Or I guess for sure. Yeah. And it would be more difficult for me to find something else when I'm 45 or 50, let's say. Yeah. And so it was calculated that I have to switch industries. And I was lucky to find this job at Lips. Yes.
And what was your role there? Like, what sparked you to join Lips specifically?
Yes, Lips is a vocational training center, actually. What we do is we train apprentices and we prepare them for the companies who actually hired us. And they had also challenges. They are paid by the companies, let's say Industrial.com, ABB, GE, Hitachi, whoever, and they are like a campus. They're not a school. They're a training center, practical training center, but they never had sales. They never had account manager who takes care of the clients, and they saw that they're now losing clients and I had to do something about it. And when I had my first interview, it was obviously that sales is key. They need sales. I told him, I did all my life. I tried to impress or get ultra high net worth individuals, trust me and give me their money. Right. And it was a limited target group. And here it's a different target group, but I tried to acquire them. I tried to sell in banking products, funds, whatever. And here you have different products. You have similarities, but it's not the same. And actually, he said, okay, let's try it out. Mm-hmm. So before I actually joined the company, I did 2 weeks of vacation. I went through all these different buildings of Lips, had interviews with the employees to try to find out why is it so hard now. And then I came up with an idea or how to, or let's say sales strategy. But it was basic. And then we did some tryouts. It worked well. So they gave me an offer, and I said, "Why not? Let's go there."
Nice,
something completely different, and it worked out really well. The last 4 years since I've been there, we grew 100% by the numbers of clients, mm-hmm. and it's not scalable like software. So whenever we have new customer, we have to hire more people, buy more machines, and it's not easy. It's actually capital intensive to scale.
But you really focused on your strengths in that sense, and I like that.
Yes.
You say, I can do sales, they need sales, let's partner up.
To be honest, also the momentum was right. You have this, in IT, for example, the lack of labor, which drove the salaries up in this field of ICT mm-hmm. people, but also in industries like polymechanics. They're hard to find. And there are 2 ways of getting more people, like taking them from other companies or building them by themselves. So it was also a little bit the luck. The momentum was right, and they were ready to invest also in vocational trainings, and
So now we understand a bit where you come from, what your strengths are, what you've done, and then of course you want to talk about your company Lumvin, and there is a connection between mm-hmm. Lumvin and Lips, your latest sort of position that we just talked about. What is this connection? Explain that to us.
Actually, 4 years ago when I started Lips, we had buildings, these huge buildings with a machine park where we prepare our young apprentices. And these buildings are huge, and the ceilings are high, and you have old buildings with the old luminaries. And one of the tasks I had was like, we have the lighting system is not working. Mm-hmm. In one of the big buildings, we had 3,000 square meter the facility was 3,000 square meter big. And when you look into this kind of plants, in industrial plants, usually you have machines, you have ceiling, and maintain lighting is difficult because you need a lift, and then to exchange that, it costs a lot of money. And I said, hey, we are also dealing with young people, and if an accident happens due to bad lighting, for example, in winter times, the light was really bad, it's not good for us. So can you please take care of that? And so I had no clue about lighting. I still do now. I have a little bit more, but this day, back in the days, I had no clue. So the first thing you do is you call the electrician, ask him for advice, and then he comes, gives you evaluation, says, okay, you can, we can take off the old luminaries, and here's a new one. We can put that up. And so I thought, okay, you need a second opinion. So I Googled, and to my surprise, I found out that one of my old teammates in handball, actually he's an engineer, and he worked many years for a lighting company where he engineered or built luminaries. So I called him up, said, hey, come look at it. We have this building. Maybe it's something you can help us. And he came to our building. And I was looking up and showing him the old luminaries, and he was focused on our machinery. And back in this meeting room, he said, hey, it's sad when we would throw away the old components. We can build like a plug-and-play retrofit, which fits exactly to this existing luminary, just with new technology. And we can do it here at Lips. So it sounds interesting. Let's try it out. So
it's like double win, right?
Yeah, it's a double win, because at Lips also we are looking for real projects, and we don't want to produce waste, because we have to do so. The kids, they have to learn a screw or something, but if they can do it in a live project, it's easier, so we can earn money.
Yep.
And they learn to produce something with a deadline. They learn to produce something with the high standard qualities, and it's not just like training for them. Yes, and so we tried it out. It worked really well. The price was 40% less than what the other guy offered me.
Crazy.
And 80% of that work, we could do it internally. So we earned money. We had a better fit. It was more sustainable because we didn't have so much trash. We can upcycle existing luminaries. Mm-hmm. And I told him, hey, this sounds like a very good idea, because we have now 200 companies working with us with big plans. We can also do the same there, and with our apprentices. So that's how it started. Actually, it wasn't my idea; it was an opportunity. And as I said before, with the right people, he knew what he's doing. He's an engineer.
Absolutely. And
so we started, and this is that was actually the beginning of Lumvin, as it is today. But I didn't found it. I was like a late co-founder, so to speak.
I think this is a fantastic story of really identifying a problem and solving it for yourself, basically. This episode was co-produced with CEF Growth, the go-to program for scale-ups in Switzerland. Are you ready to turn challenges into opportunities? Visit cef-growth.ch, apply for the program, connect with influential networks, and get expert advice to take your business to the next level. You said you did not start the company. I think the company was founded in 2020, something like that. And then you joined as late co-founder in 2022. I mean, you probably saw the potential, right? Or what was the real reason for you to say, yeah, I want to be part of that. I want to be a co-founder of Lumvin.
First of all, when I have my Lips hat on, I saw that we have a nice project for our apprentices. Yeah. On the other hand, I saw that this kind of approach is very interesting for me, because you have a lot of things you can, in your checkbox. It's Swiss made, you do it everything here. You do it with apprentices. You have this sustainability component, because you don't have to, you use a lot of parts of the existing luminaries actually. Then you have with new technology, energy savings. So it was a no-brainer, because it worked out really well. So I told him as well, when he started actually as a side hustle. Mm-hmm. And his idea was just to trade or to sell existing luminaries, but not to build new luminaries or build a retrofit. So we pivoted then, and that's why we are now a good team together.
Yeah, you sort of helped him also to find the right focus together.
Right focus, or to be also encourage him. Because he's as an engineer, I don't know if all engineers are this way, but He's very, very introvert.
Yeah.
What he does really good, to be
Of
honest. Really good. Maybe too good sometimes.
Yeah.
And to encourage him to double down on this idea was quite a lift, actually.
That's a perfect story, really. One of the big challenges then is often the share split, right? If one guy is already working in the company for quite some time and then someone else joins as late co-founder, how did you handle that share split together?
It was not that difficult, actually, because he did it part-time, so that was a side hustle also for him. And then his idea, as I told you, was just trading with luminaries. And then I came up with let's build luminaries, let's build here, let's focus on retrofitting. I think we have a market here. And then we talked about share splitting, but I think it was complete different strategy back then, and there was not much traction. So he was actually very fair. In the beginning, he said, let's split 50-50. And I said, it's better if you should have majority. So we found a good solution for both. And it worked out, and we are both happy still today.
Perfect.
But it was actually not a big thing.
To be fair, it also feels a bit like, okay, there was some past track record, but actually the core business that you're doing today, you basically started together, more or less.
Yeah, more or less, yes.
I think it's fair to say that.
Yeah, sure, focus, but maybe because I guess also for him, he had not the focus just on growth.
Yeah.
Back then, it was really just a side hustle, and he had still contacts. He tried out or finding his way in entrepreneurial mindset. Everything was new for him, and
makes sense. Let's also talk about the technical solution a little bit. You already mentioned you basically retrofit old luminaries. How do you exactly do that? I know it's probably cheaper to do so. It's less waste. Everything you explained, but how do you actually make that work? Because that sounds like a very complex process and also a very personalized process to make sure that everything fits the right way.
Yes, it's project based, so we don't have our own product line. So every luminary is different, but we did so many luminaries that we can now, we have mostly for every problem we have a solution. But what we do actually is we remove the outdated components within the luminary and integrate our smart lighting units. Yes, and the big win is that we don't replace the entire luminary. We upgrade what's there, and then it's faster, cheaper, and more sustainable.
It's almost too good to be true. It's like a no-brainer for your customers, no?
It sounds like, but a no-brainer for them is just to take down the old one and to put up a new one, because it makes sense to them, because that's what they did always. Yeah. And first of all, you have to explain how you do that. And this was quite a big issue.
Because they don't trust it? They think that your solution is worse than doing a new one? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that was for sure. They didn't trust us because in the beginning we didn't have the references that much.
Of course.
We have to explain why we do that, why it's better for you, what is benefiting. It's not just luminary, the retrofit we do. Usually you have to educate them, because for them it's clear that's what they did the past 100 years. They took down the old one, put the new one up there. And to tell them that you can still use the most of the luminary, and we just engineer and produce a retrofit. It's cheaper for you. You can also say it's for your CO2 footprint, it's better. But you have also benefits like the electrician is faster because he does not have to screw new holes.
Right.
Usually you have also these acoustic panels, and you don't have to remove new panels or buy new panels. And there are some benefits also in putting them up. It's not just about, you can just say, okay, a new one is maybe not cheaper than our retrofit, but if you count in all the external factors, it's much cheaper. Yeah.
So how much money do your customers save with your solution compared to a full replacement? I know it's probably difficult to say, but...
No, it's very difficult to say because, as I told you, we're in the project business. What I for sure can say is they save at least 70% energy costs annually on new technology, plus maintenance savings, better light quality. Yes, and depending on the size, I think the return on invest is often 3 to 5 years. It depends what you calculate. Yeah. when you just calculate the retrofit with a new one, it's 2 to 3 years. But when you also calculate the installation, then it's maybe a little bit more, because the installation is also, the electrician is also very expensive.
Got it. And I assume that also the sustainable part is a selling point for you guys.
You might think so, but
not anymore.
Yeah, when you go, let's say when you talk to C-level, because sometimes we try to, in our sales funnel, to try to go very high into the company. And then usually when our big corporates, you have also sustainable manager there, then yes. Yeah. But when you go a little bit lower, what we found out, it's, for them, they need something which is fast, it's reliable, and it's not the first thing what come up on their mind is it's more sustainable.
Got it.
Yeah.
I also have a question about the business model, because something that seems very attractive from the outside is that you don't really need to purchase that much hardware compared to a traditional light fitter or electrician, right?
Yeah.
So it seems that you can really de-risk your business model a bit, and you don't have to put that much money down. You can basically work on a project basis and then also actually make the money there. So you seem to have a pretty cool de-risked business model. Is that a fair assessment from the outside?
Yeah. In terms of inventory, yes, because we don't have any inventory. Everything's project based. In terms of cash flow, I wouldn't say so, because the average ticket is now, this year, it grew in the last 3 years, grew very fast. It's around 200, let's say, 1,000 for one project. So you need cash. And
you have to finance the work first, usually, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So for that reason, not de-risk, but it's different. It's a cash flow topic, more likely for us.
Got
it.
But
but we don't have inventory, and we start producing whenever we have an order. Yeah. So it's on that side. But on the other hand, we would like to have standard products so we can scale a little bit better. But it brings different challenges, like having an inventory and maybe an online shop. Or
you will always have challenges. It's just a matter of question which ones you choose to fight, right?
Yeah.
Talking about money, you work exclusively with Swiss suppliers. Isn't that way too expensive for you guys? Couldn't you make way more money if you would put parts of that supply chain outside of Switzerland?
For sure. But quality, speed, and reliability matter more than short-term savings. So in our view, and our clients value made in Switzerland more than, assembling in Poland. Yeah. And we stand by it, because we started this way. We want to strengthen the Swiss economy, and this is also our USP. So what we do it here. We do it with apprentices, and this is also key for our business. But for sure, we can actually also produce in Switzerland cheaper than with our apprentices.
Fair.
Yes.
Does that pure Swiss focus, I see it's your USP, everything is set up in Switzerland. Does that also limit your potential size of the business? Because you could say, this works great in Switzerland, now let's go to Germany, let's go to the UK, maybe even to the US, and do the same, copy paste.
Yeah.
Is that something that you don't want to do, that you don't think about? Or is it more like, we want to do that, and there will be a challenge to solve in the future?
When we stick with our business models, and we work very closely with this
the vocational training, right?
Vocational training, then we have to stick here in Switzerland, because in Germany and other countries, they don't have the same setup like we have it here.
That's true.
The vocational or educational system here, they're quite unique. They have also in different countries, they have these apprentices, but here in Switzerland, it's the backbone, as I say it right now, the backbone of our economy as of today is still 60% of the young people have an apprentice background, but it's shifting. More and more are going to universities, which is also very great.
But not always the best thing, because you need both in the end.
You need both. But also the Switzerland is an SME country, and a lot of the companies come out of an apprentice, and then they work or have an idea or have a niche, and it works out. But I don't know what the future will bring. But our model, it's difficult to adapt in different countries.
Definitely. You also raised some money through the Swisspreneur Syndicate that you helped us build up over the years. First of all, why was the syndicate the right choice for you? Was it just more of, I want to walk the talk and also do it from a startup perspective one day?
Yeah, for sure. That was sure a reason. And on the other hand, with the syndicate, you are accessible to people who would like to invest in your company, but don't want to invest with this huge ticket size.
No.
So you can fraction this ticket size in small portions, which is very cool. So you can go out and ask friends and family and your friends from the bank. And, for 5,000 francs to get the investment of 5,000 francs is easier for me
than 50K
than
or
50K
whatever,
or 100. And,
of course.
And the risk is also, when we raised money, it was based on a very early stage and the risk is very high. Yeah. It's really risky.
What was the main reason to raise funds? Was it to really have a better management of your cash flow, or was it more a strategic angle where you said, hey, we want to have different people supporting, routing and opening doors for us?
First of all, a cash flow for sure, because in projects, we talked about it a little bit earlier, you have to produce all the luminaries, you have to install them, and then you can send out the invoice, and you need a little bit cash flow. Yeah. On the other hand is to speed up your goals, to hire people, and it helps. But in our case, it was really, really cash flow, and we raised 400,000, and we barely touched it. Actually, now retrospective,
you regret raising that money.
No, it was good because we have now nice investor. You are one of them. They're like small ambassadors. They help us, and we are on our board. We learn a lot how to do it right, and that helps. But we were wrong with the cash flow. It worked really well because we usually work with governments and they pay safe. It's okay, and you can also ask them, say, hey, can you please already pay 40% of the amount now?
Sure.
And on the other hand, we work very closely with LIPS, where we produce all the components, and also there when we can't pay them right now, we can talk to each other and say, hey, is that okay when we pay in 2 months? And it's not a problem, but yeah.
It's like an insurance policy, so to speak.
Yeah.
You wanted to have the cash in the bank to go full speed without breaking your company.
Yeah, sure, but we could take a little bit more risk.
Sure.
now.
It's very Swiss to have a safety net.
Safety net, and we're very risk award. But bootstrap would work out, actually.
Absolutely. Now, your role is in sales. We heard it. That's like your strength and your red line through your career. And you're probably the right guy to talk to because you sell to government in Switzerland, to SMEs, also to corporates. So when it comes to sales in Switzerland, what actually works and what doesn't? Because there are a lot of myths out there with cold emailing, cold calling, LinkedIn, etc. What works for you to generate sales?
Oh, I tried so many approaches. So everything can work, actually. But what I can say is credibility, references, Swiss quality for the product we have works. What doesn't work with the clients we have is maybe hype or over-promising. In Switzerland, your reputation is your currency.
Oh, fully agree.
But also other approaches work. I tried everything out. In the end, what really works is the numbers game. Play the numbers game. Call 100 people, call 1,000 people. Yeah. It works. I think hustle.
Do you do cold calls, or how do you get a foot in the door with your potential clients?
Hey, cold call for us works really well. That's what we did in the beginning. Mm-hmm. And our conversion is crazy high because out of 10 calls, we had 9 meetings.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, this is really incredible. But the story was right. Yeah. And maybe also the momentum was right. And maybe the product is not that sexy. It's not something, it's very important for them or was very important for them. And then when you say, you work here in the region you produce everything here with apprentices. And usually I call first the client of LIPS and say, we produce them with your apprentices. So it worked very well. So conversion were very high, cold calling, 9 meetings out of 10, 6 projects out of 9.
Wow.
Meetings.
That's very solid conversion rates.
Yeah.
Wow.
But these days it's more difficult now.
Okay. Yeah. So did you switch anything? Did you now start doing advertising, or how do you keep the sales flowing, so to speak?
Cold calling for sure. We tried also email, outbounds, more difficult. Word to mouth is very good. Yeah. I think what we do it really good. And when you have a step into one of, let's say, bigger corporate, then you know that you're on the list and they call you up. For us, it sounds luxury, but the bottleneck is not sales.
That's perfect to have.
Yeah, but the bottleneck is engineering, a project, find the right people. It's very hard actually to find the right people because we are not a very sexy company. When you talk to engineers, they can go to big corporates, bigger salaries, and to get them work with us is not that easy.
What kind of people are you looking for? So maybe anyone listening to this is like,
Yes,
oh, this is actually a cool story.
Yes, mechanical engineer for sure. Project manager that would be also nice. Operations and with more engineers, more sales, more project management, need more people coordinating everything. So in all areas actually. So yeah, if you listen to this podcast, reach out to us by email, phone, whatever.
Your doors are open.
Sure, for sure.
I also want to talk about you personally a little bit because you're now the deputy CEO at LIPS. You organize events with your sport and business network. You volunteered at Swisspreneur. You are a board member as well as leading sales at Lumvin. You also just became father for a second time.
Yeah.
How do you balance all of these different things? It looks like it's a lot on your plate.
Yeah, actually, it's a lot now. I can feel it with the second child. It's you have different obligations. But Lips and Lumvin, they're huge synergies. So
Fair.
That's easy. What I try now is block times, discipline. When you work on one topic, do it right, and that works out. But in the end, it's compromising and prioritizing what is really moving the needle. Do that first, and everything else later.
It's a constant struggle. I think many people can relate to that.
Yeah, but SPN also helps me. I can use it also to sell then our services and products. So it's a balance actually.
You try to see the synergies. Along all projects.
Yeah, but it's still fun. But with 2 kids, it's getting really challenging right now.
I imagine. Now we are in 2025, and something really crazy happened this year for you. You guys with Lumvin, you won the Swiss Economic Award. First of all, are you happy with that win? How did you celebrate it with the team after winning it?
Hey, sure, I more than happy. I didn't expect that, to be honest. But it shows that we do something right. That was, for us, it was really cool also for the whole team. And for sure, we didn't celebrate yet. Because for us, it's high season right now.
Fair.
Because summer break at schools. But we will. We planned already a day where we do some activities and a nice dinner. But great for us. It was great. This is to win the Swiss Economic Award. Was not on our roadmap.
But you literally, you made it happen, because I remember you were talking about the idea and you were just like, we have to just give it a shot. We have to try it. And you're like, we probably don't win. Just keep the expectations low. But then you actually did it.
Yes.
Where was this moment? Because it's a bit between, we will not win. There are other companies that are maybe better suited than us. Where did that change from, hey, maybe we can really win this?
When you apply to such an award, there are different phases and different people involved. In the beginning, everything is online. You have to apply online, and then they need more information. And you receive this email, you're in the second round, and it's a wow effect. Then there's this phase when an expert team visits you. I think that was the key moment for us, because they came, we showed them our facilities, our products, and they were amazed how we do that, and that we stick to our values. Producing in Switzerland, it's very hard.
Of course,
producing with apprentices and to deliver such good quality. And then that was, I think, the moment when they walked out the door. When I looked to my co-founder and Christian, I said, "Hey, I think the chances are here. Actually, I think they liked us. We do something great, something not the scale up. It's not fast scale up startup journey, and to go immediately to the DACH region or the USA. Our approach was, hey, we are a Swiss SME, with We want to grow for sure. We are growing very fast actually, but to grow right, sustainable grow. And then they walked out. They said, "Hey, I think, yeah, now we want to win."
Amazing.
And then the last phase came where you had this interview in Bern for this main jury. It really went well, and then you receive this email where it said, "Yeah, you are now one of the finalists." And then you're from a sports background. When you're there, you don't want to lose, and
That's true.
but you can control. But it worked out for us. But also the other companies were incredibly good. And one of the company we are still in touch, Ofinto, great guys. We met them afterwards, and maybe there's something we can collaborate in future.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, did you know that Swisspreneur just published a book? That's right. We've spent the past year writing Swiss Startups, a compact view of some of the most amazing startup journeys in Switzerland, from scrappy beginnings to world domination. If you love listening to our podcast, then this is about to become your new favorite book. Find it now in all major bookstores or click the link in the show notes to order your copy from Helvetic today.
And I wonder with these awards, right? They, of course, obviously give you quite some publicity. People recognize it, people see it. But what is the actual business value of these awards? Do you see any tangible results where you say, we made more sales or we got more leads or acquired new talent to join the company? Is there any tangible benefit for the company?
Yeah, sure. There is. You got PR. And PR for our business model helps. We can't do ads and stuff because it's different to understand or difficult to understand our product. So PR helps. And they did an incredible job. They gave us this platform on LinkedIn, NZZ newspaper, and we got calls. Yeah, it works. So I can just recommend to apply for this award because it really works out. And we have now meetings with potential customers. We can see the outcome. Yeah, it works out. Cool. For us, it's great.
That's really good to hear.
Yeah.
Now that you've won the CEF award, what does the future bring? What are your plans? Where do you want to take this company?
We work very local. So for sure, next steps will be to expand to whole Switzerland, or maybe let's start quietly with the German part of Switzerland because we're not everywhere, or or the whole Switzerland for short. What's also in our roadmap is tunnel and light streets.
Oh, that's cool.
Lighting. We are now in talk with Astra, prototyping first producing the first prototypes. Trains. We're also in talks because it fits very well for us.
Nice.
They are components, big components. They buy it in Eastern Europe, and they just do the assembling here. And we have they are mostly sizes which you don't have now a solution for it, and we can produce or engineer a solution. Yeah, I think this is enough for the next few years.
Definitely.
For us.
2 follow-up questions.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any plans to eventually sell the company, or you want to keep it as a profitable SME for many, many years to come?
I would not say no, but as I said, we are like more this conservative SME company. Sounds very boring. We are profitable, so we earn money. It's not we don't have to now to sell, but if something comes up, for sure look at it.
Open to talk.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
You have to, of course.
Yeah. But I would not say immediately right now. I think there are a lot of work still to do, but in a few years, why not? If it fits.
And when will you start working full-time at Lumvin? Is that ever something you think about?
Hey, that's the topic we discuss regularly. And as I told you before, sales is not the bottleneck. Up until now, it's not planned. I think it works out. The setup is really good. So there's room for improvement for sure, but it works out. But you never know. Let's see what the future brings.
So don't change a winning setup or a winning team in that sense.
Yeah, we have now with the team, it's growing very fast. We have different problems, the onboard culture topics. I thought culture is, there's something you don't talk about, or it's just like, okay, you talk culture, but it's really a topic you have to look into it.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely. You'll have many tasks to solve.
yeah, sure, but it's just fun. It's not very boring.
Now, to wrap up the conversation, Bess, I would like to ask you a few rapid fire questions. I give you a short question and you have to answer in one sentence, ideally. You ready?
Great, let's do that.
What has being a dad taught you?
Patience. To be patient, I think to be patient is key. That helps. Maybe that sleep is a luxury. Mostly in the early years. But patient for sure. But patient is something I realize I'm turning 40. Did I tell you?
November, yeah.
Yeah, soon. I'm turning 40 this year, and I was always impatient whole life. And the 40th year, one of the best, when not the best year I ever had.
Amazing.
And you think about, you're getting old, 40 years, but the last year was so great. And not just in terms of family, with the second child, also with the win of Swiss Economic Forum, but in different terms. And cool. And I think, being patient pays out.
I like
sometimes.
that. Yeah. If you had to choose one project, Lumvin, Lips, SPN, or Swisspreneur, what would you go for?
Now that's a hard one. Lumvin, because the momentum is right now. We have a lot of work to do, and I would, sure go for Lumvin. But Lumvin, there are big synergies with Lips, so it goes hand in hand. On the other hand, to be honest, without Swisspreneur, I wouldn't. Also, the structure at Lumvin and also with the finance firm would not be possible. So we didn't know that this even exists.
Well, that's a very tiny puzzle piece, but it's cool that you took something away from it.
Yeah, and also the podcast is key. I learned so many things. Thank you.
That's really cool to hear.
Silvan.
Thank you. What does money mean to you?
If you have money, it gives you maybe freedom. I guess, because I'm not in that stage. But it for sure gives you the opportunity to try things out. Yeah. Because I would like, I'm this guy. When you tell me something, I think this is great. I want to jump in immediately. I like this idea from the beginning.
Yeah, you're always very positive and very energetic.
Yeah, energetic and passionate about. And then you need time, and money buys also time, I guess. Yeah.
What would you rather be, rich or famous?
With family, I would say rich, stealth mode.
Okay.
With our family 20 years ago, maybe famous. But now, sure, rich would be nice.
Bess, these were all my questions I had for you today.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming to the studio. I wish you all the best and lots of success for the future.
Thank you very much.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, you can support us by rating our show on Apple Podcasts. This way, we can reach an ever-growing number of aspiring entrepreneurs.